Hello, hello. How are we all doing? Hope we're having a great start to the week or end of your week, depending on where you're joining me from. And of course, say hello if you are joining me live. Today, I really just wanted to talk about the huge list of ESG frameworks that are out there. There's over 600 ESG frameworks, and some that you may have heard of would be, GRI or the TCFD or SASB or ISSB. Lots of wonderful acronyms, but more importantly than reeling off acronyms is how there are over 600 frameworks worldwide that are guiding us in terms of our sustainability reporting and aligning to certain ESG principles. And so it's a lot, right? It's complex. And I guess the great thing about what's happening now is we're starting to see, probably since the last 10 or so years, that there is a consolidation process. There's probably less than 10 years. I'm just estimating. But this consolidation process is really great to see because the ESG system is really kind of quite big and complex, and each country, each industry sector, they just have their own ways of thinking, their own ideas of what's important and what needs to be reported on. And so when a business is looking at all of this and thinking, okay, what should I do next? It's quite a big question, and finding the answer can take a little while. And so while we're bringing this all together and there's that collaboration and that consolidation of these frameworks of thinking, it gives businesses a much clearer idea of what is the path that they want to take. But just to kind of touch on some of the key frameworks that are out there, there is, of course, a global reporting initiative, which is the GRI. It is one of the most widely used, probably along with SASB, which is the Sustainability Accounting Standards Board. And they're probably the two most frequently used or considered. And they come from different perspectives in terms of either risk-based thinking or impacts-based thinking. And there's also the TCFD, which is now actually gaining a lot of traction, and it's really around climate-related financial disclosures and nature-related financial disclosures. And of course, what's been around for probably the longest period of time is the CDP, now known as the CDSP. So lots of acronyms, but it's a Climate Disclosure Standards Board. And so all of these frameworks are sort of have been, businesses have been reporting towards these frameworks and tracking their sustainability metrics for a long period of time. And so these databases are quite big and complex and super valuable in terms of thinking about sustainability, thinking about how we can make sure we de-risk our business, build that resilience in, effectively bring stakeholders on board. That entire process basically is really captured well by all of these standards, but from different perspectives with different focuses, strengths in certain sectors in terms of how they've captured data, weaknesses in others, strengths in certain geographies and weaknesses in others. And so when we bring it all together, which is what's happening now, we've got the IFRS, who's really kind of working to consolidate all of these frameworks, with the value reporting framework coming in, the CDSB, the TCFD, GRI. And so once we start to bring all of this in through the IFRS sort of system, and all reporting through to ISSB, which is the International Sustainability Standards Board, we've got this consolidated idea of what sustainability means. And that's really great, because I think that sustainability is quite complex. It means different things for different people. And when we really think about kind of the latest globally recognized meaning of the word, it's sustainability across four very big pillars: economic, environmental, human, and social. And so they're quite big, they're quite complex. And so having a consolidation process is really good. And I think that my best advice to you in your business or in your decision-making roles is to consider the ISSB, the IFRS and the ISSB, and what they are doing in terms of consolidating all of these standards. Because if we're leaning into the ISSB and reporting through that consolidated process of thinking, then you're really going to be aligning with a globalized framework, and one that's going to be highly acceptable, recognized, and going to be the kind of a big pressure point really for many larger businesses and medium-sized businesses, and certainly as it trickles down through to all of the nations, all of the industries, all of the sectors, and then also, you know, the various sizes of businesses down to the smaller businesses. It's that kind of unified driving force. So that's really my little bit of advice, some thoughts about this process. And certainly if there's anything to look up, it would be, you know, the IFRS and looking at their website and understanding how this all works. But if you're wanting more information about this as well, reach out. I'm happy to send what I do have with me, and hopefully that can be of help to you as well. So hope you have an incredible day. Take care of yourselves, and I look forward to jumping on live again soon. Bye, everybody. Have a great Monday.